This week on Battle of the Ports, we are taking a look at Midway's Aerosmith rail shooter, Revolution X, which first hit the arcades in 1994. Now this game actually came along by accident, in a way. What originally started as a Jurassic Park game, much in the same vein as Midway's previous title, Terminator 2, ended up with Midway losing the license to Sega, so their Jurassic Park game had to be changed, and Revolution X is the result. In a dystopian version of 1996, an alliance of corrupt government and corporate military forces have taken control of the world in the guise of the New Order Nation. The New Order Nation, with their vampish commander headmistress Helga, have declared war on youth culture and have banned all forms of music, television, magazines, and video games. The player travels to Club X in Los Angeles to see Aerosmith perform live, but the band is captured by the New Order Nation troops and hustled off the stage in the middle of their show. And here is where the adventure begins. The soundtrack to Revolution X consists of several Aerosmith songs continuously looped, including Eat the Rich, Sweet Emotion, Toys in the Attic, and Walk This Way. A Muzak version of Love in the Elevator plays in the elevator part of the Amazon jungle level, which is a cool Easter egg.
If you're watching this, then they've taken over. It's up to you now. Find our car and stop the New Order. Remember, music is the weapon.
This is your last chance. Land in the chopper now, or we will destroy you.
Operation Exploitation underway. Proceed to objective Club X. Roger. Copy that.
Wake up! The revolution has begun! Generation X is in effect!
Being a Western game, release dates are not that reliable, so I'm just going to present the ports in a random order, starting off with the 16-bit ports and the Super Nintendo release. This version was ported by Rare, and let's be honest, they've done a reasonable job at bringing the arcade game to the 16-bit home console. The game does feature some of the zooming effects. It also has a great deal of sampled audio and speech. But it also features the arcade gameplay, which sadly is very mundane, like all of Midway shooters. Blast away at anything on screen with no skill involved. You'll never kill everything, and you'll never get through a stage without taking a crap load of damage. But hey, that's what Midway thought was cool. Personally, I'd take a Japanese light gun game any day over this. But I shouldn't let this take away from what a great effort this port is. Yeah, it's cut back greatly, it slows down like hell, and some of the audio samples are low quality. But hey, it's better than what's coming next.
Looks like you made it. Where you go from here is up to you. Stop the New Order bus!
Rage also ported Revolution X to the Mega Drive, and while it does have some reasonable voice samples, the music is god awful. The game uses the Rage Software custom sound driver, and let me tell you, this gives gems a run for its money when it comes to shrill metallic sound. It really is bad. On the plus side, this Mega Drive port does feature larger sprites than the Super Nintendo, and some areas follow the arcade more closely, but overall, this is more cut back than the Super Nintendo version. One of the worst points is that you lose energy when there are no enemies shooting at you. Are there now ghosts in this version shooting at you as well? Maybe all the dudes we laid to rest in the SNES version have come back to haunt us in this version.
If you're watching this, then they've taken over. It's up to you now. Find our car and stop the new order. Remember, music is the weapon.
Okay, on to the big boys, starting with the MS-DOS version. Just like the 16-bit ports, this was also programmed by Rage, and as you can clearly see, it is a lot better than the 16-bit systems, as to be expected. Now while this is not arcade perfect, it sure does a good job at bringing the arcade experience to the home. It's just a shame that I had an issue getting the CD audio to work with this one. Control wise, the DOS version offers analog joystick, gamepad, mouse and keyboard options. Not bad at all. I'm playing with the keyboard controls here. PlayStation is next, bringing us to the 32-bit consoles. Again, Rage was behind this port, and as you can see, it is very much like the MS-DOS version, but now running with slightly lower quality assets in areas, or so it would seem. One really annoying point about the PlayStation version though is the loading. Man, it's always stopping to load in the next section. It's kind of annoying after coming from the DOS release. But if the loading doesn't bother you, this is a good port of a pretty crappy game. last port, and it's a good one. This is the Sega Saturn port, but I must explain one thing. I'm actually running a PAL version of the game on my Japanese hardware. Now the PAL release was optimized for full speed and full screen on a PAL console. Unfortunately, playing it on my Japanese console causes the play area to be zoomed in, meaning the bottom and top are cropped. It also introduces slowdown and timing issues with audio. Of course, if I was playing this on a PAL machine, it would be fine. So how does this differ over the PlayStation version? Well, the annoying loading is gone. This port is very much like the DOS version in that respect. There's also more destructible objects and a few other graphical touches. It doesn't change the fact that Revolution X is not a very good game, but at least this is a good port. I just wish I could have shown you it running correctly. And let's take a look at all those versions of Revolution X running side by side. Let's hope I don't get a copyright strike.